Hey guys, welcome back to the VHS Revolution show. This is a different kind of video. I was inspired by the New York Times and Rolling Stone and other publications doing their 100 best movies of the 21st century, and I decided to do my own kind of list. But I'm not doing a list of my picks for the best movies. I am not someone who can say what I think the best movies are, and I haven't even seen enough movies this century to really determine what the best movies are. What I'm going to do is give you my 100 favorite movies of the 21st century. These are the movies that had an impact on me, that I've come back to many times over the years. These are not the best movies, okay? I really need to emphasize that. I am not claiming that There Will Be Blood is worse than Top Gun Maverick. It's just in my list of my favorite movies, of the movies that I go back to over and over and over again, the movies that hit me emotionally, Top Gun Maverick might be a little higher than There Will Be Blood. Okay, so let's get started with part one. Coming in at 100 is Chef, Jon Favreau's return to the scrappy indies of his early career, a movie that I really, really love, that is imperfect. Some of the restaurant scenes don't quite work, especially his blow up at the critic just feels totally fake to me, but everything with his son on the road with the food truck is really, really fun and has such great energy. And honestly, I wish he would make more of these kinds of movies in between his Disney live action remakes and Star Wars work. He's such a great, intuitive filmmaker, and Chef is just a really fun movie to watch. 99 is the Farrelly Brothers' Fever Pitch from 2005. It's a movie that I saw with my wife when we were still dating, and I felt very much a kinship to Jimmy Fallon's character, not in the fact that I'm obsessed with the Red Sox, but he is to the Red Sox as I am to movies and pop culture. There was a kind of a similarity in our relationship that we saw on screen in the relationship between Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore. I think it's the Farrelly Brothers' warmest, sweetest movie. It's not really a gross out comedy. There are moments, but it's really just a fun, great movie. And it just warms my heart every time I see it. 98 is Edward Norton's directorial debut, Keeping the Faith from 2000, starring Norton, Ben Stiller, and Jenna Elfman. Norton, Stiller, and Elfman play three best friends. They were a posse when they were younger. Norton grew up to be a priest. Stiller grew up to be a rabbi, and they're still best friends to this day. Jenna Elfman's character kind of comes back into their lives after many years, and they both end up falling in love with her, which is complicated given their different religions and the ways that their life has taken them. The movie isn't overtly religious, but it also doesn't shy away from the religious part of the movie. It's not just the setup, it really is a major aspect in how the story plays out. And the movie is really, really sweet. I love Stiller and Norton together. They have great chemistry as friends. Elfman in particular is wonderful. And she just sparkles on screen, and it's really too bad that she wasn't able to make more of her movie career, because she's just excellent in this movie. It's a really small movie. Not many people have seen it. It was kind of overlooked when it came out, but it's one of my favorites. 97 is Kogonada's After Yang, his second film after Columbus. It stars Colin Farrell and Jodie Turner-Smith, and in the future, people can buy robot children for their families. The movie is about when the older robot brother of this family starts to break down. Colin Farrell goes about trying to find replacement parts and figure out what was in the past of this robot. And it's a very gentle, beautiful film. And Colin Farrell does an amazing Werner Herzog impression, which isn't named as a Werner Herzog impression, but you can tell right away who he's doing. In the middle of this conversation about tea. It's just a movie you have to see, but it's really rewarding. 96 is Adventureland, Greg Mottola's follow-up to Superbad, which is not quite as raunchy and gut-bustingly hilarious as Superbad, but it is really, really funny. It's about Jesse Eisenberg, who's working at an amusement park during the summer, and all the interesting people he comes across, and has a great cast of Jesse Eisenberg, Kristen Stewart, Martin Starr, Ryan Reynolds, Bill Hader, Kristen Wiig. It's just a great, fun hangout movie. 95. Vicky Cristina Barcelona, Woody Allen's 2008 romantic comedy. Rebecca Hall and Scarlett Johansson play two best friends who are on a trip to Spain. They meet this Lothario, played by Javier Bardem, and he kind of seduces both of them, but not at the same time and not in quite the same ways that you would expect. It's a really loose, funny, romantic, sexy movie, very unlike any other kind of Woody Allen movie that I've seen. And the performances are just great, especially Penelope Cruz, who won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. It's just a movie that just feels alive and colorful, and it's just a great joy to watch. 94 is Manchester by the Sea, Kenneth Lonergan's 2016 drama starring Casey Affleck. I gotta say, I've really only seen Manchester by the Sea one time, and that's when I saw it in the theater. It hit me hard, and I haven't gone back to it, and I'm okay with that. There are certain movies that I don't need to go back to, but whose impact still lingers, and that's one of them. Casey Affleck won Best Actor for his performance, and Kenneth Lonergan won Best Screenplay for his work. It's a really great movie, and one that I've been wanting to go back to, but just haven't yet. But it still deserves a place on this list. 93, Past Lives. Celine Song's wonderful, romantic drama. It's a movie that didn't quite bowl me over when I first saw it, but it really lingered in my memory. I couldn't quite shake it, and the more I revisited it, the greater the impact. It's a movie about lost love and about all the different choices we make and where life takes us. I found it very true to life and very impactful. 92 is another movie that I haven't seen for a very long time. It's Spike Jonze's 2009 kind of kids movie, Where the Wild Things Are. Actually, it's not really a kids movie, but it's based on the kids' book by Maurice Sendak about a boy who kind of travels to a mysterious, maybe imaginary land and meets these monsters and has all these kind of great adventures. It's a movie that really impacted me when I saw it in the theaters, and I haven't seen it since. And maybe that's because I just want to hold on to that experience. You know, I don't want to see it again and maybe have that experience be tainted. But it has beautiful music, amazing production design. It was Spike Jonze's only movie to be completely shut out of the Oscars. Nothing for production design or music or cinematography. But I think it's such a beautiful movie about friendship and loneliness, and I think it's just terrific. 91, Gone Girl. David Fincher's adaptation of Gillian Flynn's novel. It stars Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike, as well as Neil Patrick Harris, Carrie Coon, Tyler Perry. I watched it again recently. It's not my favorite Fincher movie, but I also love parts of it. I love the editing of it, the momentum that it has. There's great scenes. I think Carrie Coon is great in the movie. It was like kind of her breakout performance. And Rosamund Pike is amazing. She's the star of the movie, and she's the best thing about it. In terms of like Fincher movies, especially Fincher movies from the 21st century, it's not quite there, but there's a lot of great stuff about it. 90 is There Will Be Blood, Paul Thomas Anderson's Oscar-nominated epic about oil and fatherhood and being a son of a bitch. It stars Daniel Day-Lewis in absolutely one of the most iconic performances of the 21st century, maybe the most. The guy is amazing. There's no doubt about that. And there's no denying Paul Thomas Anderson's power as a filmmaker. His films are just not movies that I tend to go back to that often, other than Boogie Nights, which is my favorite of his films, which I could watch any time. His other movies, I will go back to once every few years and check them out. And I love There Will Be Blood. The filmmaking is incredible. There's nothing about it that I don't like. It's just not one of my personal favorite movies. 89 could not be more different from There Will Be Blood. It is Jake Kasdan's Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, a kind of reboot, sequel, remake thing from 2017 starring Dwayne Johnson, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and Karen Gillan. It's just a lot of fun, man. It's just kind of the best of that kind of movie. When I saw a Minecraft movie earlier this year, I thought, well, okay, well, it's good, but it's no Jumanji. I think it's Dwayne Johnson's best big star performance. He's really, really funny in the movie, and so are Karen Gillan and Kevin Hart and Jack Black in these kind of switched role performances. Everything about this movie is fun. I've seen it tons of times. I could watch it anytime and never get sick of it. 88 is Catherine Bigelow's Oscar-winning drama The Hurt Locker from 2009. It stars Jeremy Renner as a bomb squad diffuser in the Iraq War. It's incredibly intense. Catherine Bigelow makes these really muscular, intense dramas. I just think it's incredible. Jeremy Renner and his breakout performance is great. And it also stars Anthony Mackie. This is before both of them were in the Marvel universe. The film won Best Picture. It's like the lowest grossing movie ever to win Best Picture, or it was at the time. And Catherine Bigelow became the first woman to win Best Director. It's just a great movie. 87 is Bridesmaids, Paul Feig's hilarious comedy starring Kristen Wiig, Maya Rudolph, Rose Byrne, Melissa McCarthy, Wendy McClendon-Covey, Ellie Kemper, and Chris O'Dowd. Bridesmaids kind of came at the tail end of the Judd Apatow comedy boom of the early mid-aughts. He executive produced the movie. It's just hilarious, but it's also honest about friendship and romance, but it also has some really, really funny performances. Melissa McCarthy, it was her breakout role, and she shot to superstardom after this movie. It's just really, really funny and a great fun time. 86 is Honora, Sean Baker's Oscar-winning drama. It's an incredible, unique movie. There's nothing else like it. I love the performance by Mikey Madison, and I especially loved just the script and how unpredictable it was. It kind of reminded me in many ways of Martin Scorsese's After Hours, where I couldn't quite predict where it was going to go, and where you think it's going to go in the beginning is really not quite where it ends up. And I know it's been kind of a divisive movie. Some people think, oh, it's no big deal. I don't understand what all the fuss is about. And I think if it hadn't been nominated for a bunch of Oscars or won, it would have just become another great indie movie that people don't talk enough about. But it somehow did catch on, and I think it's great and really special. 85 is another raucous comedy, though in a totally different vein. It's Lord and Miller's 21 Jump Street, starring Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum. It's an absolutely hilarious, outrageous comedy. It was one of my best experiences in a movie theater. It was just non-stop laughs, and I still laugh as much watching it today as I did back then in 2011. 22 Jump Street, while not on this list, is just about equal, but that first movie is just really, really special and really funny. 84 is Lost in Translation, Sofia Coppola's 2003 drama starring Scarlett Johansson and Bill Murray as two lost souls who find each other in Tokyo. The movie is really just about these two people finding each other and connecting for a really short time before splitting off again into their lives. And there's just something about a Sofia Coppola movie that just feels different from any other movie. That moment at the end when he gets out of the car and goes to whisper something in her ear is just an incredibly iconic moment from the 21st century, and just a great movie. 83 is the most recent movie on this list. It is Joseph Kosinski's racing drama F1, starring Brad Pitt. It's just a knockout. I loved the movie. I saw it in IMAX twice. I've been listening to the score all summer, all year. The movie, to me, does what very few big studio movies do these days, which is manages to tell a great story and be entertaining and show us something that we've kind of never seen before or never seen quite in that way. Yes, it's a kind of predictable hero story, but the way in which it's told really held me. I thought Brad Pitt gave a great movie star performance. 82 is Denis Villeneuve's 2015 thriller Sicario, an absolutely relentless, hard-hitting movie starring Emily Blunt, Benicio del Toro, and Josh Brolin, and it's just badass. Denis Villeneuve is a great filmmaker. Of course, we know that now. In 2015, we were still discovering his talents, and Sicario is just amazing. 81 is the Coen brothers' No Country for Old Men, which came out in 2007, the same year as There Will Be Blood and some other great movies that are on this list, starring Josh Brolin, Javier Bardem, Tommy Lee Jones, and Woody Harrelson. And it's a thriller, but in the kind of Coen brothers style, which means that things don't play out exactly as you would expect them to go. The ending is very unique and unusual. I think Tommy Lee Jones actually gives a great performance. Of course, Javier Bardem's is the most iconic of the movie and of the 21st century. He won Best Supporting Actor for his role as Anton Chigurh, this insane killer. And the movie is intense, but it's also very specific about the place and the kinds of people that inhabit it. And it's just a great movie every time I watch it. 80 is Alfonso Cuarón's Gravity, an incredible movie-going experience. It stars Sandra Bullock and George Clooney as astronauts in space who are trying to survive after a kind of cataclysmic disaster that has left them stranded. The techniques that Alfonso Cuarón used to make it, I think, were just really genius. It's just a great movie, and it was an amazing movie to see in IMAX, in a big movie theater with a big audience, and feel their intensity and their reaction as well. It's not just a technical exercise. It really is an emotional experience. Okay, that's the end of part 1 of my list of my 100 favorite movies of the 21st century. I hope you enjoyed this list. Let me know what you think about some of my choices, and I hope you come back for part 2.